From the 1011 Now streaming studio, this is The Night Beat.
Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Good evening, I'm Danielle Shenk with your headlines for Monday, September 29th. A man is in custody facing multiple charges after allegedly beating and kidnapping his ex-girlfriend. Today, that man made his first court appearance. 36-year-old Christopher Collins faces kidnapping, terroristic threats, and using a weapon to commit a felony. A judge set his bond at 10% of $10 million, which Collins says he could not afford. If convicted on the kidnapping charge alone, Collins could face life in prison. The prosecutor says the state also plans to add a first-degree assault charge after medical reports detailed Jessaray's injuries. Collins already had a pending domestic charge from an August incident. On top of today's court appearance, we also obtained court documents this afternoon that provide a clearer timeline of what officers believe happened last Thursday. 1011 Sam Cobb joins us in the newsroom to break it all down.
Danielle, when all this unfolded last week, Jessaray had an active protection order against Collins following an August incident where he allegedly beat and strangled her. Just one day before last Thursday's events, she asked for that protection order to be dismissed, saying she needed to communicate with Collins about shared financial responsibilities. On that Wednesday night, Jessaray went to Collins' Lincoln home. According to her statement to police, the last thing she remembers is standing in his kitchen. She says she didn't wake up until the next morning in a bed at one of Collins' rental properties, where she claims he was standing over her with a pocket knife, telling her that if she didn't kill him, he would kill them both. She also smelled a strong odor of gas and feared Collins might have intended to blow up the home. Officers later confirmed that a gas line had been cut at the home. LPD SWAT entered the rental property just before 11 p.m. on Thursday and took Collins into custody after he was tased. Jessaray was hospitalized with multiple fractured ribs, a brain bleed, and a fractured nose. We'll have a full update on the case tonight at 10.
And new tonight, a former Wahoo police officer already facing assault and rape charges is now hit with new allegations. Another woman claims Juan Ramirez assaulted her as well. The 28-year-old now faces 4 assault charges and 1 count of first-degree sexual assault. This comes after Ramirez was arrested last week in Pawnee County after a victim alleged he beat, choked, and raped her. Days later, a second woman came forward with similar claims. The Wahoo police chief tells us that Ramirez has since resigned from his position. A weekend celebration for Terrence Bud Crawford took a shocking turn when Omaha police pulled him over, sparking an internal investigation. Authorities say officers stopped a car around 1:30 a.m. Sunday near 12th and Capitol for reckless driving. While speaking with Crawford, officers spotted a gun and ordered everyone out at gunpoint. A member of Crawford's security team was carrying a legal firearm, and everyone in the car was legally permitted to carry firearms.
And I thought we were getting ready to lose our lives. That was a nightmare. You know, future husband, just had a brand new child and, you know, children and, you know, and stuff like that. And to know that I almost lost my life last night because we had a police officer that don't know how to articulate a traffic stop.
No one was hurt, but Crawford was cited for reckless driving. The Omaha police chief has pledged an internal investigation, and the mayor says he's reviewing body camera footage and will continue communicating with OPD in the coming days. Now to an update tonight. 2 members of the State Liquor Control Commission are resigning at the governor's request. This comes just days after the commission's former executive director, Hobart Roop, was indicted on federal fraud charges. In a press release, Governor Pillen says he accepted the resignations of Chairman Bruce Bailey and Commissioner Kim Lowe, thanking them for their service. Lowe's term was set to end in 2027 and Bailey's in 2029. At this time, only 1 member remains on the commission. Now, school choice may have been defeated at the ballot box, but Governor Jim Pillen announced today that Nebraska is opting into a federal tax incentive that will allow it. Nebraska is opting into that program that lets taxpayers write off donations to help kids afford private schools, with reimbursements up to $1,700 starting in 2027. Up to 90% of K-12 students could qualify. Governor Pillen says no child should be forced to attend a school that isn't working for them, but the teachers union noted that while the program may offer limited benefit in some areas, particularly rural communities, the fiscal impact could affect public school funding statewide. Lastly, in sports, the Big Ten announcing the kickoff time for Nebraska football's game against Maryland on October 11th. The game is set for 2:30 p.m. in College Park and will air on the Big Ten Network. Maryland enters the matchup coming off a 17-point win over Wisconsin. Rounding out your night beat is a check of the 7-day forecast.
You've been listening to The Night Beat.
Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Watch, listen, and stream on the 1011 app on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.